Good afternoon, team. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Members weekend video. So today was a pretty nasty day overall. The market itself down, 300 points. My portfolio actually, I was flat on the day. I think I was net up like a couple $100 on my portfolio. So for being a big down market, that's kind of testament to you know, just getting into the right stocks, no matter how the market is doing. Um, I would have gotten stopped out if it would have kept going down, but they kind of held their own. I got stopped out on whatever, on the ones that I posted, I got stopped out on. But for the most part, they held. And I go over those at the end of the video here. So just to look at the market real quick, and I have some stocks that I went through my scans. It's about 350 stocks that I went through today, and I got a few that are kind of like looking pretty promising. And then I go through the ones that I currently have, and you can see kind of the setups that I took. So the market, the Nasdaq. I like the fact that we kind of have a little slight, just a little slight uptick here, where we're putting a little bit of higher lows. That's impressive. Within the realm of a downtrend, and also that we're holding the 21. The fact that the 21 is still being held is it's very good. Even though today was a huge down day, we closed right above it. Let me see where we at here. The 21 is, yeah, we're right above it. We're 0.3% above the 21. So that's good. The other good thing is volume, decreasing volume. You want to see decreasing volume when the stocks is going sideways. That means it's settling down and then it goes higher. You want to see increasing volume. It's like here. You want to see increasing volume. Okay. You want it to kind of stay flat when it's going sideways, and then you know that if it breaks out, it's going to break out on higher volume. In this case, it broke down, and it broke down on higher volume. But sideways action, you want to see low volume. Okay, like here, this little shelf right here where it's setting up, and then it took off. See, decreasing volume. Everything here is kind of like low volume. And then once it takes off, you start increasing volume. See? So this is good. This is promising action. Let me go to the. Okay, obviously the same thing. I have my trend lines here on this one. Let me reactivate this because I want to make sure I get this little uptrend here. I got a whole bunch of. I just want a little. I just have extra lines just because I want alerts at certain price levels and kind of give me a feel. So I'm not looking at the chart 24/7. It kind of gives me a feel of like, all right, we crossed this threshold. Okay, now we crossed this threshold, or God, now we get back down this threshold. That kind of thing. You should always have trend lines and alerts to kind of keep you abreast of what's going on. You don't want to be looking at the screen, all day. Um, and then what we kind of look at here, when I sent you guys earlier, this kind of held. I mean, I think it has something like this, where we wanted to hold that. We broke it a little bit, but hey, what did I say? We need to hold 305. 305 held. That's very, very good. So again, we still have this gap that we gotta take care of. So this is still something where that we have to kind of keep back of our minds that this needs to be addressed. But the fact that we held 305, it's very impressive. And then we went kind of like when I told you guys, showing you the H pattern. Usually when this neckline breaks, you go lower, and then if it holds the neckline, then you have the nice big leg higher. So maybe we do take care of this gap, and maybe we have a shakeout, or we come in, take care of this, grab and go, and then we take off. It's a lot of possibilities. Just be aware of every situation. So, um, again, today, from the last couple of days, we really, been, we started the day. We started like, I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We started Thursday in the 305, 304 level, and we ended up at the 305 level. So we really haven't done anything in 3 days. You know, net, just sideways channels. Um, this is basically what we've done this week. That's about it. We've had this little uptrend, like I mentioned. I thought we were gonna start breaking lower, and then we kind of like did this. So this is perfect. Now we did this. Now we're going sideways, and hopefully with the bottom of the channel here, hopefully this channel holds, and then we start trending higher next week, and we're gonna continue this until eventually we break this out and take off. So again, we've gone nowhere. You want to make money here. You want to not lose money here. You want to get yourself set up here to make money, and you have a quick stop. That's basically it. And you want to make money in these phases. So that's about it. As far as setups that I'm seeing, not setups and or potential things that might be ready to start working. Let me go through a few here. This is one that I took. I actually took. I took it at 153. I think I mentioned it in the chat that I was taking it at 153. I was looking at it and I did. That nice little run from that price range. I took it right here. See when the alert. See my alert got hit. I'm gonna reactivate it. My alert got hit here, and because it was right at the 50, so I took it. And then I figured, well, my stop is like 148, something like that. You know, something like less than a 2% stop. And you know, it's working so far. Maybe I take it up to the 175 range. Again, my stop is going to be the 50 on this one. I think it's a little bit too extended right now for you guys to jump in. Wait for an eventual pullback to the 50. Hopefully, it won't happen anytime soon because I'm in the stock right now. CEIX, another one I mentioned. This is basically just at the 21. Anything near the 21 here, it's a good entry. It's kind of like, see if you notice, this is the channel. It's kind of just trending higher, back and forth on this 21. So anytime it bounces, it comes back in here. It's a buy, and then you sell it at the top of the channel. That's basically it. That's how I'm looking at this. So I bought it when it came down here. I currently have it. I'm selling it up here somewhere at 57, 58, holding the 21. If it comes back inside of 21, I'm another buyer. If it breaks 21, I'm out. That's how I'm handling this one. HCC. HCC basically right here. I just want this trend line to break. Guys, get used to putting trend lines and alerts in your charts. So you have a price range, and you visually see when you have the trend line. You visually see the bar getting above it. Then that's your entry price. Okay. So I like this little cup here. Hopefully, it might go sideways for a little bit with a downward angle. That's a nice little handle, and then it takes off. That'll be HCC. VLC 823. I want this little high here to be taken out. Again, nice little cup here formation. It might go sideways for a little bit and then take off. Impressive numbers. If you notice, everything is empty, guys. You don't want to fight the trend. That's what's working right now. Until it stops, and when it stops, you'll know because you get stopped out, and then new rotation will come in, and then the scans will pick up those, and we're still gonna have these. The setup is the setup, whether it's on a oil stock, a paper company, a utility, a tech company, a semiconductor, a software company. It's irrelevant. It's the setup. You see a base, you see tight action. When it breaks it, you buy it. That's it. Now, when those set up, or when those are appearing in the top industry groups, you have nice earnings, and my scans will pick it up and so forth, and you'll have those. So you're always going to have fresh merchandise, and you're always going to have the cream of the crop every week to work with for that week. What's the other one? MUR 4468. I like 4468 above this one. See, this is a nice little cup with handle being built. You see right here? This is the cup, and then now right here, we got a nice little handle working. Hopefully it'll go a little bit lower. Not too much. Maybe, hover around 41, 42. And then once it breaks out of the handle, it's an early entry with the cup base being the base breakout pivot at 44.68. So that's MUR. OBV 5765, 5765. Take out this high right here, this little shelf. I like it. This is a pretty steep run, so I wanted to go see how it's gone sideways 1, 2, 4 days in a row, basically for the week. I want to go sideways a little bit more. When it goes up fast like that, usually it won't have enough to continue going fast like that. You want it to, you see, it goes up, then you want a nice little steep formation here, build another base, another base, another base, and so forth. So I want this to kind of go sideways a little bit, and then take off. MNRL. This is this is more. This is this is extended. Okay, do not buy here. Do not buy this stock. Okay, right now. I just want to show you a double bottom kind of formation here, where this is what you look for. This low is lower than this low. So this low, this low. Let me clean this up. This low is lower than this low. Okay, so you have a double bottom. Now, what's the ruling on a double bottom? You enter once it breaks the pivot, the middle of that double bottom. So you have the one low, then you have the high, and then you have the second leg down for the second low. Okay, well that pivot, that's your entry. Okay, that's your entry. Now that's the entry right there, and look, boom. So that's what you look for. Learn to look for those. They don't all work, but you'll know right away because, well, you buy it at 28, 90, and it goes back inside 28.75, 28.65. Okay, it didn't work. Get out, and no harm, no foul. Like this one, 56.37, double bottom. That's my pivot, right? Right there. That's my pivot. I would have entered there. I would have gotten stopped out there. Extremely, very reasonable, no harm, no foul loss on this one. But then see, it's building a nice little base here. So you wait for that base to break out. So now you have a new little base here that's kind of breaking out. So you have this. Let me clean this up. You have this sideways action here for a while, and then once it does break, boom, you take it from 23.5 to 28. That's a pretty good move on a $20 stock. So look for that. Look for that. Same thing here. If you want to call it a double bottom, I wouldn't call it, but 18, 16, the middle is 19. So you draw your line here. You take it somewhere here. You would have gotten stopped out. You get back here again. Boom. Let's say you take it at 21 to 20 to 25. That's a good move. So again, this is an example of what double bottom would look like. This is a picture perfect one when you actually see a nice little W being formed, and then you draw your trend line here, and then you have your alert, and that's your entry right there, and that's worked out nicely. Let's say you would have bought it at 29, it's at 32.5. Good move on the stock. And again, it's not. It doesn't seem like it's slowing down. And then where's your stop? You let the 9. You let the 9 guide you. See the 9 right here? You let the 9 guide you. Once it breaks the 9, that's it. And then once it comes back in the base, so the 21 comes in somewhere here, and you hit 21, you get in again on a pullback, and then your 21 is your stop, and then you ride it again. That'll be like that's like perfect trading right there. Okay, FLMN 791. I want this little base to be taken out here. This isn't a double bottom because if you notice, this is higher than this one. So this entry right here wouldn't be a double bottom, but it's a nice little cup here, base kind of scenario where if it breaks that out, I'll be a buyer. VET. I have this trend line here. I don't really have a price per se because you have multiple price ranges. I just want this trend line to be taken out. If the trend line is taken out, I'll get in right there and I'll be out at the 9 EMA. This is it's a pretty pretty easy clear base there. Okay, this one is another one. Let's see, was it VP that I was looking at? Let me see. Yes. 27. This is another one that I want to show you on a double bottom back here. So here, 25.46, 25.33. This is officially lower than this one, correct? So 27.91 is your pivot. You draw your line. There's your entry. 231.32. So you would have taken, let's say, at 28, and you take it at 32. That's a 4-point move on a $20 stock. That's pretty impressive. So again, this is what a double bottom would look like. You have one leg down. A double bottom comes in from when you got uptrending stock, that it has a little pullback, then it tries to rally. Doesn't matter how high it goes. It doesn't matter. Let's say it tries to rally, and then it falls again, and then it breaks this prior low by a little bit. You don't want it to, you don't want to be down here. Then the trend. I mean, then if you want, this is still your pivot, but then it's like move on. So uptrending stock comes in a little bit, reverses, goes a little bit higher. This right here is your entry, and then you could do whatever it wants to do, but once it does this, that's your entry right there. Okay, and where's your stop? Below the pivot. Just that simple. Okay? I hope that explains a little bit what you're looking for. So the main two ones that you look for are a couple handles and double bottoms. Those are the ones that are kind of like more prevalent and they'll work the best. And then you know immediately if they don't work, because that pivot gets taken out, and if it comes back inside, that means you get stopped out. Very low risk. And if it doesn't take the pivot, you don't take the entry. So no risk. It's just that simple. LXU 2203. This little cup here, this little base cup here, I want it to be taken out. LXU DTM 5941. Take out this little base right here. INSW 2501. This building is kind of how it broke out here a little bit, and it's kind of going sideways for a little bit, which is perfect. And it's going sideways on decreasing volume. Perfect. That's what I was mentioning before. Okay. Look at this breakout here, increasing volume. Okay. So this is going sideways, perfect. So 125 will be taken out. MPLX. Right, this little base right here. Take out this little base right here. This is kind of what's going to be probably like a little handle here. This is probably going to be, see how it's kind of coming back in a little bit. This might be forming a handle from this cup here. And then once it breaks, that'll be your early entry. And then you'll be your add-on here. If you want to break for confirmation, let this be your initial entry out of the base of the cup. Okay, LNG. That's another one with the same kind of base looking scenario. You want this little base to be taken out here. You might kind of go sideways for a little bit, form a handle, and then take off. But again, I mean, look at these numbers. Look at this. It's coming from negative earnings to huge positive earnings. Again, oil and gas. What a surprise. Okay, HAL, Halliburton, 42.63. 42.63. This high to be taken out. Again, nice little base here. It's kind of going sideways for a little bit, and it's going sideways on decreasing volume. Perfect. And this is just textbook, guys. That's what you look for. Look, keep all these things ingrained in the back of your mind. LBRT. This is what I look for, and I give you guys. LBRT. This is one that I was looking at to clear the space and see the I, I put it in here and it triggered. So this is officially, I should have been an entry already. See how I had this right here and it's no longer black because it got triggered on me. By the time I was doing my scans and putting the alerts and get the video together and have my thoughts in place and everything, this triggered. So see how these things work. So well, keep an eye on it. LBRT, keep an eye on it. And maybe if it comes back inside around here somewhere, this could be like a nice little pullback with a 9 EMA being your stop. Nice growth, nice growth from negative to positive and increasing for the following year. Hey, look at this, oil and gas. NEX 1187. Oh, another one that also 1187. That would have been my entry. We would have been profitable already. It got a trigger by the time I got to it already triggered. So again, maybe wait for it. I mean, you could buy here at 1210. Again, you don't want to buy what extended means anything over like, okay, high end 5%, but in real terms 2 to 3%. So if you have a pivot, like the pivot is 1187 and it's at 1208, I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. Your stop is still going to be somewhere like an 1160 something range. So you're still not risking a lot. But you don't want like, 1275 and you don't want to buy at 1280 kind of thing where your pivot was 1187. So have like a 3% kind of max, 2 to 3% above the pivot to be your line in the sand. I mean, your hard line is like 5%, but I would even do 5%. My hard line is like 3%, 2.5, 3% above pivot. It's kind of like, okay, it's too extended. I'm not chasing it. It went without me. That's it. Because at 3.5%, I'm racing my stop to a break even. So then my numbers are skewed. My risk reward ratios are all messed up if I buy it extended. So your entry price is key, okay, to keep you guys on the right side of the trade. You wanna have that 3-to-1 ratio I've been putting on there, so you can see that you could be 60% wrong and still be a very profitable trader with a 3-to-1. Let me see what else I have here. HAL, MRT, next, yeah, NEX, and then GTLS, 186.81. 186.81. I want this high to be taken out. This little peak above doesn't really matter, and it kind of came close. So 186.81 will be this little base here, kind of going sideways a little bit, decreasing volume. It's kind of settling in. It's settling in a little bit spiky, but still, if it breaks it, we might have a run of 200. Oil and gas. LNT. This is a cup and handle, guys. Cup and handle example. Here it runs up. Here's the cup, and here's the handle. Okay, I have my alert here. I have my trend line here. So I'm gonna let this right here kind of break out, and then this is the top of the base. This is for an add-on entry. I'm gonna have an early entry once this kind of like this little handle resolves itself to the upside. I'll have an entry on this one. Okay. AFG. This is the base. Once it clears the base, basically this little base, this little sideways action right here. Once it clears this little base here, I'll be a buyer. Price is kind of like it could be 144, 142.5. It could be whatever. You want to see constructive action above this line here. And then you'll be a buyer with a maybe with like the 90 EMA as your stop. Then PGR 120.57, 120.57. Actually, it's here. This high right here went higher than this high. I don't know why they didn't mark it here, but this high right here is in the 120 like 40 something. So let me see. Let me confirm this. The high is 120.38. See, and the high is 120.38. So I want 120.57 to be taken out here um, for this little nice little buck cup here. Again, this could be a little handle. Last 3 days, very much decreasing volume. Um, and then this right here has gone sideways. So you want to see this little handle and pull back a little bit and then take off. Cup with handle, like perfect pattern right there. Then HUN 3722. HUN 3722. This little base right here, kind of going sideways here, kind of forming a little, building the right side of this little base here. This eventually needs to do this, guys, because this is the original for the cup here. This needs to eventually do this, but this will be an early cheat entry to get to up here, take some profits, wait for the handle to build, and then re-enter. And then LPLA, just a cup with handle example I wanted to show you guys. Same thing. Here's the cup. Here's the handle. I have my alert right here, my trend line. So once it breaks this trend line, I'm a buyer. Hopefully it'll be above 200. I'll add on and let this ride. This is a cup with handle, perfect cup with handle setup. Look at this one. Look at this one. Here's the cup. Right? Here's the handle. See how I kind of like go, it's a little, kind of doing this, not this, or not this. It's kind of going a little bit downward, and then boom. Once it breaks that handle, takes off. This is the perfect example of a cup with handle right here. This will be another one. If it does this, and then eventually it breaks out. Okay, so those are my alerts as far as like setups that are I think are pretty viable right now. Just to go over the stuff that I have. Let me see. I picked up a little bit of Monster. I think I just let me see. MNST. Once it kind of stuck around this area right here, I'm flat on it right now. I'm like down like I think like 3 cents. Just kind of picked it up at the end of the day. Because I like how the 50 is kind of like forming a nice little cup here, and then hopefully it goes beyond, it kind of goes above here. The 21 is trending higher, the 90 MA is trending higher. So this is kind of recouping again. If you want to look at it for a cup scenario, this is a cup. There's a little handle right here, and then it took off. Oh, this is still forming the handle of this bigger cup right here, and then eventually walk off. But I just got a very small entry here just to see what it does. Dow again, it's holding the 50. I mean, yeah, I'm a little down on it today. Kind of broke even from yesterday. I'm still holding it. I'm waiting for the 50 to be my my line in the sand here. AVT again. I'm kind of it cleared the 9 here, but it kind of closed above it. I kind of let it give it a little bit of room. So it's going sideways. Nice little move here, kind of holding this overall little breakout. It hasn't really violated it, so I'm giving you a little bit of room here. Anything below a 21, then for sure I'm out. ACGL, these are all that I currently have, but I'm still. These are all currently in my portfolio right now. ACGL. I want to add on this breakout here, but I wanted to kind of get in at a low entry here because again I like this little tight action, and the volume is kind of decreasing. So let me take a little entry here. My stop is right here, like very very tight stop. I'll add if it breaks through here, and then I have like a partial profit of 50, and then if it breaks above this high, then I'll keep adding. This might build a little base here. Maybe this is the handle. I don't know, but I got a small entry here just to kind of like see what it does. DBA. I'm about to get stopped out. I'm letting this. Where's my stop? I think my stop was like, I think yesterday's low, something like that. I think I'm like right there on my stop. I'm probably it's below the 50. It's still higher than this low high, so one more close below the 50. I don't see anything kind of like getting above it. Then I'm out. I probably have like a 1.5% loss on this. Not a really like a barn burner. INGR. INGR again. This was a pullback buy to a 21. Um, Again, this is just something that I saw as far as getting an early entry on a potential 100 run here. So kind of pulled back for the last couple of days, and I like how it closed both days above the 21 on big down days, big bars here above. So again, 21 is my line in the sand. I picked it up right when it was kind of reversing back in it. So I have a small little profit on it right now. I'm just looking for a play at 100. That's all. HDSN. HDSN. This one I'm out. I just took it out of my portfolio screen here. I'm out. I took profits up here. So when it hit like 1030 something, 1040 something, I'm out again. This guy cannot get above. I keep saying it cannot stay above 10. Every time he kind of goes, I see like 1, 2, 3 yesterday, 4 days in a row that it tried to stay above 10 and every single time. But hey, today I did make money on it because I had it yesterday. It went up. I had like 400 shares. It went up like like I think it was like 70 cents. So it's a nice little $300 trade. No big deal. Again, if it pulls back to the 9, I might add it again and let it go for another run. I just keep trying it. I just keep. Eventually, it's gonna do one or two things. It's gonna do one or two things. It's gonna break the 20. Sorry, not the 9. The 21. It's gonna break the 21, and I'm 100% out. Or it's gonna finally stay above 10, and then rally, and then I'm a winner. So I'm just gonna keep on trying. If it goes down again, around these levels, I'm gonna add to it again. I'm gonna buy another 300, 400 shares and see what happens. If it breaks the 21, I'm out. If it goes above 10, I'll take 50% off. If it goes back inside 10, I'll stop out. But watch, rinse, repeat. I've done it 3 days in a row with this stock. 3 days in a row I've done it. I lost money the first time because I didn't know the nature of the stock. I made money yesterday, and I made a lot more money today. So I'm gonna just keep on trying it. Why not? SWX. I own this one. I bought it yesterday at the 21. I mean, flat, perfectly fine. Oh, I like this after hours. It's hopefully Monday will hold. So again, holding the 21. It closed above it. So not really doing anything wrong. No reason for me to like not keep it. SIMO. This was pretty flat. They didn't do anything today. It's got a million average volume of 1 million, and it just stayed at the same price. I'm wondering if something happened to it, or that's actually what it did. That it never moved from yesterday, or maybe it's a buyout. I don't know what's going on here, but I own this. Pretty much tight action here. Like I said, it peaked above here and it kind of stayed the same level. Today it kind of did the same thing. It went back down and it went up again. So it repeated exactly the same thing as Thursday. So I'm in it from lower, so I'm profitable on this. So unless it breaks 90, I'm holding and see what happens. NRT, same thing. I'm letting the 50 be my guiding light here. I own it from a couple of days ago, a little much lower. So it's working. I'm profitable on it. All good in the hood. CTRA. I own this again. The same thing. Nice little shelf here. Kind of just staying its thing. Lowering volume on a sideways movement. I like that. This could take off. I bought it. I think a couple of days ago when it was sitting here. And it kind of held the 9. So I'm letting the 9. This little shelf in my stop out. Again, oil and gas. Not doing anything wrong. DBC. I bought this a couple days ago. I think on this pullback here, I've been holding it. This is trending higher. The 9 is going. Then my 9 is my stop. Just letting it work. It's doing its thing. This could have been a nice little entry right here, right? So again, not doing anything wrong. I'm letting it work. I still have shell. I still have shell. Again, it's going lower volume and a little pullback. That's kind of like not really too crazy. The 21 is holding. That's my line in the sand. Maybe an entry above 50. Above 60 will be an add-on. But for right now, it's just kind of going sideways. The last 3 days, it really hasn't done anything. And the market's been so volatile, it really hasn't done anything. So that's showing relative strength. And well, talking about it's showing, it's very, very good relative strength. 96, 96, and it's kind of like going up here when on a flat day. So not too shabby. What else do I have here? It was Shell, and then the last one, MATX. MATX. Again, this is probably gonna be well. This hit his head on the 50. It's got to cross above 95 for me to be adding on. Again, I'm making a play at 100, but the 21. See the 9. Let's see if you see it here. Maybe you won't be able to see it, but the 9 is kind of crossing over the 21. So we have a little positive, golden cross scenario with the 9 and the 21 going higher. So this is definitely trending higher. You can see here, all these all these days it's been trending higher. So that's why I got on this. Again, it's got to break the 50. And it's above the 200. So that's why I got into it. So if it breaks the 200, I'm out. If it breaks 95.51 or so here above the 50, I'll add on it, and then 100 I'm taking profits. And if it breaks above 100, I just raise my stop and let it continue. But I like this little tight action here, this little base forming here. It might take off. All right, guys. So that's pretty much all I got. The theme has been the same. Sideways action with a little bit of a uptick the last couple of weeks, and I like how it's been holding the S&P. I like how it's been holding the 21 3 days in a row. Actually, since it broke out of it, it's been holding it. So this whole last week, it's been holding it, and it's going sideways on low volume. That's very promising. The weekly, the same thing. The weekly showing, higher lows. Tight action here. The volatility decreased big time this week, which is good. We had a holiday shortened week, but maybe that's why. But still, you want this little, these little small bars. That's when you start trending higher. When you start getting big bars, big bars. That's when you start going lower. Okay, I think I mentioned it before. So we want this to end. We want this channel here to kind of like resolve itself to the top side here, and then we can continue, this channel that we broke, back in end of last year, November, December. All right, guys, have a blessed weekend. Put the work in, study the charts, analyze your trades. If you're profitable, if you make good trades, see what you did right. If you had losses, see what happens. Having a loss doesn't mean you did anything wrong, okay? But if you did anything wrong, see what happened. What did you do wrong? And then write a rule or an answer to that wrongness to try to fix it, so like you don't make that same mistake again, and you keep growing as a trader. All right, I'll talk to you guys on Monday via the chat, and Tuesday video. Enjoy.